Okay, today we're going to practice choosing the pronoun based off of the verb ending. I'm going to pause for about 10 seconds to allow you to work on this, so you can feel free to pause this, and then we'll pick up with the answers. Okay, so for graeci estis ignavi, because the verb ends in tis, our pronoun will be vos. Okay, for sumus kalidi, because we have an mus, it will be nos. Sum, that m ending tells me it's going to be ego. For s, it will be 2. mus is still nos. Tis, vos. S goes with 2, and O goes with ego. Okay, here we're going to practice the verb form. So you'll create the verb form based off of the verb I give you. Now this is a little more difficult, so don't worry so much if you can't get the form completely correct, but worry more about the verb ending. So looking at the pronoun and or subject, determine what verb form you need. Again, if you don't get it right, it won't be the end of the world. It's a little more difficult on this. So again, I'll pause for about 10 seconds and then do the answers. Okay, so our subject in this sentence is nos. So based off the verb sum, it'll be sumus. And then the translation would be, we Romans are better than the Greeks. And number 2, Alexander and Quintus are both the subject, so that makes this verb need to be third person plural, because we have a plural subject and it's 2 nouns, so it's going to make it third person. So the verb should end in nt. So adi, unt. Again, if you didn't get that, it's okay, but just remember, anytime you have a noun as your subject, it'll be third person. And in the instance of it being 2 singular subjects, which makes it plural, you're going to have an nt. For number 3, servus is my subject. Again, we have a noun as the subject, so it's going to make it third person, and because servus is singular, the verb will end in t. So laborat with an at, laborat. Okay, for number 4, vos is the subject, so the verb will be habes. And, oh, nope, it will not be habes. That is my error. It'd be habetis with a tis, because vos is the subject. And I just realized I forgot to give you the translations for 2 through 4. So for number 2, the translation will be Alexander and Quintus listen to the teacher. For number 3, it would be the slave works diligently in the garden. And then number 4, it'd be you Greeks are always having arguments or debates. Okay, for number 5, because 2 is my subject, the verb will end in s. That's where I made the mistake last time. And assume the second person singular is es. And then last but not least, and that would be you, Alexander, are very stupid. And then last but not least, number 6, ego is my subject. So my verb will actually end in o. So the form I gave you is the form you will have, habeo. And the translation would be, I have many slaves in my house. Okay, so again, this is all about subject-verb agreement. If you have a pronoun, you need to remember which pronoun goes with which person. So ego being first person singular, 2 being second person singular, vos being second person plural, nos being first person plural. Now, for things like Alexander and Quintus, and then Servus, if a noun is the subject, you're dealing with third person.